Why spend so much time talking Deion when Colorado won't even make a bowl game? Now I remember. There it is. Now I remember. Alan, this is going to sound like I'm trying to ragdoll you, and I'm not trying to do that. I appreciate you watching more than you could possibly know. However, we can be friends and disagree, right? So just pretend like we're at Clearview Barbecue down in Columbus, Georgia, and you and I are fighting over a couple of chip sandwiches at lunch. I have no clue where this attitude could possibly come from. Colorado won't make a bowl game has quickly become the tiredest, lamest college football insult there is. I want you to imagine for just a second. Okay, imagine taking over a 1-11 team, and they haven't won over 5 games but once since they joined the Pac-12. Haven't had more than a 5-win season but once in over a decade. Maybe the worst roster in all of Power 5. And imagine going 4-8 with that team and having a group of folks led by Allen saying, "Told you. You told me nothing. It's like a guy getting his pilot's license and flying successfully the first time, and you say, well, Buzz Aldrin, Neil Armstrong landed on the moon. What did you do?" Deion could go 4-8. He could go 5-7 this year, and somebody out there is going to say, "I knew he was overrated." This is a badly broken scale, people, a terminally flawed scale. If you think bowl eligibility in year 1 is the proper metric with which to gauge whether success and improvement has happened at Colorado. I had Jesse go compile me, by the way, and I think you see it on the screen here. I had Jesse compile me. I said, forget about the losses. They're too many to count. I just want you to tell me how many wins per year they've had since they joined the Pac-12 conference. It goes a little something like this. 5, 3, 1, 4, 2, 4, 10, 5, 5, 5, 4, 4, 1. So, as you can see, friends, even in the most normal of seasons, Colorado making a bowl would be extreme. It's not an extreme prediction. It's the lamest prediction in the world. It's the biggest gulp of haterade you could possibly take against someone to try and manufacture them to be set up for failure by saying, well, if he's really that good, he'll prove it by making a bowl game. See me in 2024. Don't see me in 2023 about that. Even with the transfer portal, there's only so much this guy can do. Did you hear me when I said 1-11? They won 1 game. And a lot of those guys have been run out of town. So if you want to also have fun, go look at the list of schools that the kids who have transferred out of Colorado have gone to. One of them went to Colgate. Deion's got folks transferring to toothpaste. That's a stage below Rice. God bless you, Colgate. So why do I talk Deion Sanders? That was the question there. Well, I'll tell you why I talk Deion Sanders. Number one, he's a disruptor. You don't get those very often. I mean that in the most respectful of terms. He's a disruptor, meaning you've got a natural set of order and a natural way things are flowing. When the disruptor comes in, everything gets shaken up. Here's what a disruptor looks like. For example, we sat in this studio about 72 hours ago and told you Cormani McClain just committed to Colorado. You could have a forklift distributing as much cash as you ever hoped to distribute, and there's not another head coach on this planet that would have ever been able to land Cormani McClain in Boulder, Colorado, but Deion Sanders. Saban wouldn't have done it. Kirby Smart wouldn't have done it. Nobody would have been able to do it but Deion Sanders, and the reason is simple. He has got a set of characteristics that no one else has. He's a disruptor. And I'm running a show, which at its core is entertainment-based, by the way. So that's one reason I would talk about Deion Sanders. The other is, as you saw, his first day on the job out in Boulder, he's brutally honest and doesn't really care about you seeing it. You know, some of you accurately said when we showed that video of him addressing the team for the first time, well, the only difference in Deion saying that to those kids and every other head coach that takes over is every other head coach didn't record it. Yep. What's your point? Because my point is I love that. He didn't hide from it. Most head coaches hide from that. Most head coaches are afraid of it making them look bad. You walked in there and told college athletes they probably need to look elsewhere because you don't have much use for them. Well, hey, you know what else Deion Sanders has going for him that makes me not care less about that in terms of hurt feelings is the semi-professionalization of college athletics. You inserted the transfer portal, you inserted NIL, you inserted a profit-based model, for lack of a better term, for college athletes. And I sat here and said, if that's the way you guys want to take it that way. but you can't get the benefits of being an adult and avoid being treated like an adult. And so Deion walked in and treated him like an adult and said, camera crew, follow me. Record every bit of this. I don't care. So I appreciate that. That's another reason. You're asking me why I talk about Deion Sanders. That's another reason. He doesn't need to work another day in his life if he doesn't want to, and yet he's ultra passionate about this. You know, he's not, in other words, doing this to garner attention for a bigger project. He's not looking to siphon resources and funding, and he's not looking to crowdsource using the University of Colorado as a platform. He may be looking to advance his career long term. He may not see himself coaching at the University of Colorado for 20 years, but college football and elevating young men, I believe, is absolutely at the forefront of what he's doing. I believe he's totally genuine when he says that. And so I appreciate that. That's another reason I talk about him. Here's another very important aspect when it comes to our world. He understands entertainment, which I know makes some of you roll your eyes. Some of you are more purist, traditionalist, nothing wrong with this whatsoever. Some of you grew up on the sport and you just want it for football. You don't care about storylines, you don't care about the trappings, and you don't care about the ornaments on the tree. You just want the tree, and that is absolutely A-okay. However, I did a segment about a month ago, and I'll kind of regurgitate what I said then. Now, this is not the football industry. This is the entertainment industry. They don't build 100,000 seats around your football fields because everyone loves the intricacies and strict X's and O's and execution of the game. That's what it's built on, but this is entertainment. You get paid $8 million a year to be the head coach at fill-in-the-blank university because you, at the core of it all, are in the entertainment business. If it were about purely athletics and competition, you wouldn't make any more money or play in any bigger a venue than your local baseball coaches do or your lacrosse coaches do, because those are athletics too. Those are played at a high level too. It takes a ton of time and energy to be invested to be good in those too. Football's entertainment. Deion Sanders gets it. Now, at the core of what he does, he still wakes up at whatever time he wakes up every morning to get better in the arena of football, but also understands you package that in an entertainment-based model. And that's why you know about everything they do. You could be living in Bangor, Maine. If you're a college football fan or even have passing interest in it, that means you're plugged into the right social channels, you're watching the right broadcast. Deion Sanders is going to be present there because of the last reason. He's got a combination that only a few people have, and that is this combination of like magnetism and skill and, in his case, achievement, but charisma, just a raw interest factor that makes you a needle mover. And there just aren't many of those people. Needle movers, meaning they wake up in the morning and decide where they're going to go eat, and it's a story. I can't necessarily explain to you why that is. Why do people care about what certain people do in every aspect of their personal and private lives? I don't know that. Personally, I've never actually been someone who that appeals to. Deion happens to appeal to me because he's in the world of college football where I hang out, but it doesn't matter whether I understand it. It doesn't matter why it is. It just matters that it is, and he's one of those people. So you ask me why I talk about Deion Sanders? Those are reasons why I talk about him. And if I didn't really want to go through that whole spiel, I could have just told you the first time we talked about him was one of the higher traffic segments we've had all year. And then we did it again to make sure we didn't just happen to game the SEO, and we didn't. You clicked on it again. So these things have been validated by you, not by me. I could just yell this into the abyss and it doesn't matter. My follow-up as we move on here would be this. You know, you ask me a question. How about I return it with a question, which is very unprofessional. Why wouldn't I talk about him? It's January. Why wouldn't I talk about him? Because I gave you 5 or 6 good reasons why. Why wouldn't I talk about Deion Sanders?
Guys, thanks for watching Late Kick. Make sure and leave a comment. I love interacting with you. But most of all, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. That's how we keep all of this free.